Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaka Yamada. Today being Saturday, the 24th of July or the 15th of June in the 9th year of Chongyulguk. So let's begin, as always, by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents, Chariot, Kyombe, Paro. And let's recite the family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가정멘세 3. 천일국 주인, 우리 가족은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 환족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 3. Our family, the owner of Chongyulguk, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. And I'd like to ask Kim Raymond if you could offer the opening prayer, please. Thank you.
Good morning, our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. We thank you that we could come together as a family to offer this Hundoke and to be able to center our day first thing in the morning, and especially to be together. We know that you have great hopes for the building and the expansion of Chongyulguk on this earth, and because of COVID, we're very separated, but thanks to amazing technology, we can actually come together and stay in touch, and in some ways be even more in touch than we were in the past. So we're really grateful for this, and we pray that you can be present in our hearts as we listen and make the foundation for this coming day. This I pray in the name of Kim and Naoka Raymond, blessed central family. Arju.
Thank you, and greetings again to everyone, and let's give a warm welcome to Reverend Yutaka as he shares with us. Thank you.
Good morning, our brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today's morning devotion, the Oceania gathering. Really, I appreciate everyone to join together. So let's put our heart and sincere devotion to our Heavenly Parents and to parents. We can start the great moment. From yesterday, Tokyo Olympic has started, right? So even COVID cases, COVID situation, but all our athletes gathered to Tokyo and they started all competition and also the sports and Olympic games. So even Tokyo, their game, there is no audience physically, but all over the world, they are now focusing. So really those young spirit, really change the world sadness or challenging environment, and those some energy should go out and encourage the people. We could see many nations also come together, even Oceania nation also joining together in the Olympic. So we really encourage them and also pray God to protect also them, and also give all energy to bring to the world. So from yesterday, they started. I hope also 2 weeks is a great time. Even any kind of situation, there is some kind of meaning behind. So we seek really the God's will, and also we put our heart to love them. When the Olympic game was held in Korea, 1988 Seoul, really to Father love them, representative of Korean people and representative of God. They serve them, and he watched Olympic game. I think he put several TV in his room and watching everything together with loving them, to really embracing them, those heart, That's why even Olympic game is not only just external activity. We put our heart to embrace them, encourage them, and also we wish them to have a great success. So yesterday really we started. Also we can enjoy together. So this is Olympic game. So I hope many Oceania country also gain the good result, gold medal, and also show the happiness. So this is started Olympic game. And also there is one thing, I sent a message to the leaders. Yesterday our national leader of Fiji, our Reverend Santos, and all family members got the COVID. And also they have fever, body pain, and no taste, and no smell. Really not easy situation. And even now Fiji government cannot handle the COVID cases. So even government stop the COVID test because already so many cases, and even hospital is full of patient. So they already got the 2 times vaccine 2 times, but still condition is not good. So I hope all of you please pray for their family, Reverend Santos and wife and 2 children. They are staying there and really not good environment. So really have to pray quick recovery. Now world level really getting serious about COVID cases, and many nations, even our members, started to get COVID in another nation also. So we have to be careful. The things we don't know when we get, because the Reverend Santos case, almost they didn't go out. Just one time, go to the bank, only that time, but didn't meet people, only just short moment. And also even he doesn't know when he get the COVID cases. That's why really in our situation, we have to be careful. Because we cannot see where we will get. So those situations, please pray well. And please also pray for our Reverend Santos family to be recovered quickly. So this is COVID cases. And yesterday also was Anshi ill because of another national leader's condition. Suddenly I asked the Reverend Ito to give message. So thank you, our Reverend Ito, to give a beautiful message, how to liberate God. So this is also testimony when he went to the mission country. So through father's strategy is really deep. Through parents' strategy is really deep. As the ancestor of the nation, people go there to establish the new tradition, and especially who went there as the missionary in 1975 or early time. That is the nation who are enemy in World War II. America, German, and Japanese missionary went together and worked together. That's why internally, externally, many kind of challenging situation, but they stayed together and overcame. So if you go to the mission country, there is no people who you can rely on. So what you can do? Only praying, only ask God and rely on God and communicate with God. What is your preparation message? Really those pioneering area is lonely situation, suffering, even sometimes feel to be thrown away. Nobody concerned, nobody stayed together. But those moments we could meet God. So met the Father and met the head of states. So Reverend Ito shared a beautiful experience in mission country. And myself also, I went to pioneer in Indonesia during ALT time. Indonesia has only just 10 family members in main city in Jakarta. So another city, there is no members, no foundation. So we went together with ALT member in Medan city and we started. There is no family member, no foundation, just arrived to the airport. We don't know what we should do. But just believe and try to find a way. Already first day we met the good righteous person. Then we share about message. We try to educate young people and try to do some educational project. So this righteous person was really inspired and even also prepared one house for us in the first day. So really God prepare everything in the pioneer area or new area, even new activities. So how we can pray, believe God, and we share God's message to each place, then surely we can find God and we can work together with God and we can inherit the true parents' heart. So thank you, Reverend Ito. You are sharing about Burkina Faso, Russia, and Marshall Island. Still continue your mission life. So we really need to develop together. So let's read our True Mother's autobiography, Mother of Peace. So last session we share about Temonim's life. So Temonim's life is really model life which we should go to attend heavenly parents, attend true parents who is living and offering the life more than Temonim for true parents. Last time we watched the video together. So when we see some one part, there is some kind of photo. True parents are there, and all true children is there, and also behind of them, Temonim was standing there. How much beautiful photo! True parents, all children, and Temonim. True parents emphasizing about 3 generations. 3 generations is the minimum unit when we go to the spiritual world. If we complete 3 generations, then heavenly tradition will be settled down. That's why how important to establish 3 generations. When we think about children, when they can learn to attend parents, even parents saying to children, you have to listen parents' word, but children is not easy. Then how they can learn to respect and also attend parents? This is through watching or through living together for 3 generations. If parents always attend grandparents, love grandparents, serve grandparents, and embrace and all things if due to the grandparents, how about children automatically learn how to attend elder person, how to treat elder person, how to love and how to support elder person. That's why if we can have a 3 generation, those tradition will be continuing to the next children and the next generation. So we learn about Temonim's life to sacrifice for heavenly parents, sacrifice everything for true parents. So we could really inspired and grateful our Temonim's life. We have to learn and also inherit well. In this chapter, we are talking about education or educational institution. So together with True Mother's autobiography, I will share also the message from Champmogyong. So let's see one by one. So this is mother's autobiography. So I will read this. To honor my mother's ascension, one distant relative who came to pay respect was a former president of Korean University, Dr. Hong Il-sik. Since the 1970s, he had wanted to create a Chinese-Korean dictionary, but no one in the government sector or at any university would provide the needed support. It was only later, as the relationship between Korea and China developed, that Korea recognized the value of his work. I was pleased when, at a later date, Dr. Hong accepted my invitation to chair the Songhak Peace Prize Committee. So do you know this person? Have you seen this person? This is Hong Il-sik. So he is a distant relative, so not so much connection with true family that time in 1970. And the Korean university is one of the top university in Korea, and he was president of Korean university, Koryo University. So that time now he accepted the role of chairman of the Sonhak Peace Prize. So maybe you saw him. And making dictionary is not easy things. So I researched this story in True Father's Message. So Father's Message 447, Father is mentioning about him, the Mr. Professor Dr. Hong Il-sik. So actually in 1970, he tried to make a Korean Chinese dictionary. So he visited the top 30 company in Korea, but no company supported him. Even government doesn't concern about his work or his wishes. So finally, father said, finally, he determined to meet through father. That time he was so much famous, some cult or some unification movement is a strange group or many kind of atmosphere, many kind of rumor in Korea. But Dr. Hon decided, I want to ask Father Moon. So he went to America and he visited and meet Father. And that time also he shared his some vision to Father. And do you know what Father said? Father happily, gratefully just accepted, and he determined to support him to make this Korean Chinese dictionary. And Father said, I supported him 200 million won that time. So that amount is around the 200,000 US dollar at that day. So if we compare with the current value, more than few million US dollar, there is support him to make a Korean Chinese dictionary. So, and he could become also the president of Koryo University. So behind of him, also through father, through parents, continuously supported. So when we see our people currently who are supporting our movement, actually there are many kind of connection before when they were young, before they become the president or prime minister or younger age, there was also connection with through parents, and some of them also they are so much inspired about the principle and about movement. So yesterday Reverend Ito also shared about meeting with president of Burkina Faso, and also he met president before he become the president, right? And even Oceania nation is also same, some president, prime minister, even before they become the president or prime minister, our missionary met them and to have a workshop or a seminar together and to connect our international seminar. That's why directly or indirectly also they are receiving the good influence, the principal education, and also God's word, and also the several good God's sword. So they are also receiving good influence from our true parents. That's much God's word have power, and the principle, divine principle has a power. So we continuously share this education, very important. Sonfa University's roots go back to 1972. We set its foundation when we opened the Unification Theological Seminary at the Kuri Chung-Ang Training Center in Gyeonggi-do. It was more than 20 years later, in 1994, that Sonfa University went international with a new name, Sunmoon University. Its motto, Sunmoon is recreating heaven and earth, reflects the university's belief that through God-centered education, people can impact the world. So have you been this place? Do you remember this place? This photo? This is Chung-Ang Training Center. This is Kuri. Stanley. I think some blessing event was held in this Kuri, Stanley. Maybe some of you received blessing here. I'm not sure which year, 1980, also same, and 1980, 1982, 1988. So those blessing was held in this place, Kuri. So there are many kind of memory, this place. So this place was also the training center, Chungwan Training Center. That's why Songfa University root was there. Further established Unification Theological Seminary at Kuri that time. So many leader also learn there. Yeah, this place is also the Shinsen company. We are correct. This is Ilfa Shinsen company factory is together with Chungwan Training Center. So many event was held. Now I think we don't have this building anymore. About that time. So this place, Unification Theological Seminary, our many leader also graduated this place and moved to Cheonan. And also now Asan, now new university, Sanmun University is established. So this motto, how beautiful. Sanmun is recreating heaven and earth. So which university is creating heaven and earth? So really the Sanmun University motto is beautiful, to create, recreating the heaven and earth. So this really great motto. So to parents put a lot of vision and dream and also the expectation. So now the person who graduated Sanmun University, so they are really working in the world level. You know, the many graduation member is there. Our President Hori also graduated Sanmun University. Myself also graduated Sanmun University. You know, the Mr. Hajime, and also now Dr. Yoon Yong-ho, Secretary General of International Headquarters, he also graduated Sanmun University. So many people also graduated Sanmun University together with God's hope, God's vision and dream. We are also try our best, still many kind of lacking point, but try to our best. So many leader graduating, and now Trumada change this Sanmun University, some theological major. This become UP University, right? Some children now also studying there and learning some kind of UPA, similar way of UPA. And now some universities educating the new generation leaders. So we could see the root is from Unification Theological Seminary, and now some university is now developing to educate the new generations. My husband and I always supported the advancement of learning as an intrinsic good. There were times when we faced difficulties due to misconceptions that the Unification Church had the objective that would compromise the school's academic integrity. But our goal simply was to provide the highest quality education possible. We frequently invited celebrated scholars in all fields to deliver lectures. So when true parents started any kind of providence, always true parents received the opposition, persecution, and many challenging, but even any kind of situation, the fundamental concept or meaning of education or true concept, true thought of education never change. That's why in order to fulfill the purpose of education, continuously true parents invested the educational field. So later I will share through Champumogyon father's message about this part. Sometimes we would spend tens of thousands of dollars for just an hour of expert training for our students. Father Moon respected the professors, although he really disliked it if they neglected the personal teacher, a student dynamic in their classes. He emphasized that a professor's student, not his or her academic colleague or the school's administration, are the proper ones to evaluate a professor's performance. So always three parents invited the professor, sometimes pay the big amount of money to invite them in order to educate, in order to give the great contents to the student. But some of professor, some of them, there are many kind of professor, good professor, but some also are not good professor. That's why, what is the evaluation system in some university? Student, the teacher or administration doesn't give the way. The students give the evaluation to the professor's performance. So student is the one who understand the value and also contents, or also the quality of lectures. Of course, student is not perfect, but students' evaluation is really important. That's why usually when student in the beginning of the semester, student will choose the class. If the professor's some performance is not good, or some professor's class is not interesting, nobody choose that person's, not professor's class. That's why automatically, if student doesn't choose, that class was automatically closed down. So I think some of you are professor or lecturer, you can understand how student evaluation is important, how much your performance or investment is important. Student is really severe directly if professor or teacher is doing not investing so much. The student is showing directly, evaluate directly. So we could see those, the environment for the teacher, professor, and also the student. So Sammun University had gradually built an outstanding student body that, in terms of nationality, is the most diverse of all Korean universities. Recently, it received the highest rating in several evaluations and has been awarded several government-sponsored research projects. It is a tradition-oriented institution of higher learning with significant influence. So in the beginning, the campus was only one in Cheonan. Have you been Cheonan? Cheonan and Asan is different. In the beginning, the building is only Cheonan. Cheonan is, you know, that Cheonan is Korean word. Cheon-an. Cheon is heaven, and an is kind of the peaceful or settlement. So Cheonan meaning is heaven will be settled. So this is a beautiful place, Cheonan. Then in the beginning, the campus was only one, but now already developed. You could see this building. This is the new campus. This is Asan and main building. So Asan is also a really beautiful place. So in the beginning, only one campus and one major, but now already there are many kind of building and many kind of major. Already 25,000 students was belonging to this school, university, and already government recognized, and even this university, some university is receiving the award and also the sponsorship and many support from the government. So some university's strong point is to connection with the international university. So there are many kind of free support. Some university students, if they want to study in abroad, some project, some exchange program with another country, they could have many support, many sponsorship from the government, from the university. So really, they could have many kind of experience. So some university now really famous in Korea, and some rating ranking, a rating of the government checking system, some of really they could get the top rate about international, about also foreigner, or about several part. So some university now is getting famous, and really many students are studying this place. Our second generation, Turmada is encouraged our second generation to go to Korea, some university to study there to prepare for the future leadership. So please also concern about some university education. This is really great. So about the educational part, mother is really concerned and investing to father also, to parents really investing to educational part. So let's read to parents message from Champumogyon also. I researched this one. The establishing educational institution and nurturing human beings. So father also mentioning many times about education, the purpose of education, the meaning of education. So when we think about education or discuss and even we teach something to another person, the understanding of the meaning of education is really important. So I will share about father's message. So father said, goodness cannot be realized in an instant. If you are going to become a good person, you must inherit from the past. For this reason, education is a necessity. You go to school to learn, but what do you learn? In order to prepare the paths of goodness, the people who sacrificed throughout the course of history did not live comfortably. We need to inherit the history of such people, those who sacrificed and endured. In order to become good person, what we should do, we cannot fulfill by myself, and it does not realize in an instant. When we see our past history, there are many kinds of conflict, good person and evil person. And many person also pass through many kind of challenging environment. And people is confusing, people is struggling. I should live for myself, or I should live for my family, the races and people and the world, the nations. So what kind of life we could see? When we see our history, we could see this kind of two type of person. The person who live only myself, doesn't care family, doesn't care races, doesn't care nations, only myself. Or there's the person who live for family, even sacrifice my family. The person lived for the people and the nation. So who created the nation, who created the history? This is the person who sacrificed for the nation and sacrificed for the people. Because of them, the way of goodness was established. That's why Father said, in order to learn, in order to become the good person, we have to learn the past. We have to learn through the history. So when we think about the history in your country, can you find some righteous person in the history? Do you know your history in your nations, Australia, New Zealand, or several island nation? There is history, and surely there is a person who sacrificed for your nations and to create the history. So we have to learn and we have to inherit their thoughts. The function of education and ethics is to adopt goodness as the standard. The path of setting the standard of goodness is not an easy path. It is path of suffering. It is an irrational path that is, in the essence, contradictory to everything my body desires. If we do not go that path in our life in society, we find that we cannot bring good results. Thereby, social life indirectly teaches us the standard of morality. So, Father said, the path of setting the standard of goodness is not an easy path. I think there is an educator here, professor or teacher is here. So How about, is that easy to settle down or setting the standard of goodness when you teach the people? This is really not easy things. Maybe some subject of your teaching is not relating goodness directly, but the teacher's attitude, teacher's mindset. When you teach to the children, this attitude and mindset is important. What kind of mindset do you have? What kind of thought do you have? What kind of attitude do you have? Maybe we can think about some example. When you cook, do you like to cook the food? Sometimes husband, you cook something for your wife. Not only wife is cooking. So when you cook some things, of course, the method, recipe, and ingredient, maybe this is same. But when you cook, you are imagining, I really love my children. I really love my families. I really wish my children become happy. My family become happy. I wish them to become happy, enjoy, and become healthy. When you cook the food with this kind of heart and this kind of mindset and cook the food, or when you cook the food, you are thinking, I really hate this person. I really wish this person becomes sick. I wish this person become die. When you imagine, when you have this kind of heart to cook same food, same recipe, and same ingredient, do you think this food is same or not? Maybe externally same, but spiritually, internally, this is totally different. That's why Father is talking about education, this mindset that teachers, not easy to settle down the standard of goodness. When you teach to the people, what kind of really mindset do you have? Really teacher have a mind to love children, love people, love students, wish them to grow up well, a better person, or just thinking, this is my job, just earning money, only that's it. That's why how teacher have this kind of good standard or good mindset. And this is not only talking about the teachers, ourselves is also same. When we meet the people, we share the message to another brothers and sisters in witnessing and teaching divine principle and guiding the people is also same. How much important to settle the standard of goodness and also our internal attitude or motivation. That's why Father is talking about the purpose of education and meaning of education. So today we are sharing about Tirumada's autobiography about the educational part and also to Father's message from Chon Song-gyon. So education, this one word is simple word, but there is many kind of deep meaning, and this is directly relating with us, relating with family, even the relating with our future nation and world. That's why we have to understand well, and we also have to have a true purpose of education to educate people, share to people, even meeting, VIP, even short moment, but what kind of attitude, mindset we have. So we will continue together with our true mother, true parents to settle down the standard of goodness and share the goodness to the people and to become the good person, good family, good nation, good world together. So today we share about those messages. Let's create the great day today. Thank you very much once again. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Reverend Yutaka, as always, really illuminating so much of our true parents' heart through their life course in their words. I was this topic is because it's about education, and I've spent a good part of my life teaching. I have lots of experiences with different attitudes in class between students and teachers, and I have a motto for many years on my desk, and it said, "The excellent teacher respects his students." And I had it as a big sign, and other teachers would walk past and have a look, and I would always get comments from teachers, some strongly disagreeing, saying, "No, the students have to respect us. They have to earn our respect. We don't respect them." And I was always surprised by those type of teachers, because like you said, the student chooses which class they want to go in. I always wanted to be the excellent teacher, and so I never had any preconceived ideas. A lot of teachers would look at their students and try to find out their backstory, and then make up their mind if they're going to succeed in their class or not, even before going to the class. And I always went there with, this is a fresh group, and I'm here to help them to learn. And so when it came for them because they have to experience us first before they make up their mind if they want to continue having us as their teacher. And so once they had their first class or lesson, there would be a lot of changes. So it was hard for students to know if this teacher was good or not. They would talk to previous years and ask, get their recommendation. So I always got recommended by other students. And I always, when after the first class, there was always people wanting to change classes. And I always had people leave other teachers and come into my classes, and some teachers didn't care, other teachers were disappointed. And I also had experiences as well where the students didn't like me and chose to go somewhere else, but most of the time not. The students really do receive from the teacher's attitude, and I tried to always give them the benefit of the doubt that they could achieve and be successful. And I even experimented one time because there was this one student I had. Every teacher kept telling me that this person cannot learn. He's unable to grasp the concepts, and so the teachers would go in with the expectation this person's not going to perform well. And when a new teacher came, and I had this particular student that everyone was difficult with, I told this other teacher who was new to the school, saying that this kid's the best student in my class. And that when the person came in, they had the expectation that he was going to perform well. And the teacher taught as if he was an excellent student. And he performed really well in her class. And so really the attitude we have, whether they can do it or not do it, really affects our attitude and also what other people say. So I had always this experience of, the class they got to teach, but also got to know each student and their dynamic, and know how to give the lesson so each person can learn. So it's a very complex strategies that go in, and a lot of time is just getting the student in the mindset that they can learn. Once they do, then the learning is very easy, and all the concepts aren't hard. It just requires them to focus. So anyway, I won't go on. There's maybe other times I'll give some stories that happen in class with students, because most of the time I always incorporate a standard for them to achieve, to be able to succeed in their studies. So this idea to really respect the student, helps in their education. So thank you. I can see Doug has his hand up. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, John. Good morning, everyone. I feel like I have to be able to say this at this time. I love the way Reverend Yutaka speaks and leads the meetings in so many ways, and John, you too, just absolutely amazing. So with absolute respect, I want to say this. When I heard this morning, we have to learn from history. I believe that is so very, very true. God gives us history so that we don't have to repeat it. And my history is, I'm an Irish person, okay? There's about 800 years there of compiled abuses that took place, you know, between England and Ireland, similar between Korea and Japan. So it's part of my DNA, I guess, you know. I'm also an American, and an American is different than many other nations in the world simply because it stood up against government. It's fundamentally not in cahoots with government, you know. So we suspect the government, and we put we the people in front. And I just want to say and politely open up a discussion, maybe not now, but some other time. I want to say that you do not have to take what the government gives you to take. You do not have to take these vaccines that are being offered. You do not have to do it. God gave you an immunity system. Today we heard about Fiji. I know there are many people here who love the idea of vaccines, and I fully understand that. I was in the military. I took vaccines. I took vaccines when I traveled. I am not against vaccinations. I'm not really for it, but I'm certainly not for it right now. This is a highly politicalized situation. And when I hear stories like Fiji, that they had the 2 vaccinations and they have an outbreak of COVID, and I think of the children that are being vaccinated. I haven't trusted vaccines for the last 20 years in many ways, but I'm not alone. I'm just a high school educated person. I have enough information on my Facebook page that can change anyone's mind. It's from very reputable sources, highly all around the world. And this is highly debated. And there are a lot of scientists, more in number than those who are pro-vaccine, but it's not being reached to the people because of mainstream media. I won't go on with this. I give you an invitation to talk to me, Steve Evans, Susie Evans, other people that trying to say, you do not have to take this vaccine. You do not even have to take the COVID test. You have an immune system given to you by God. I'm 70 years old. I'm in a high morbidity, according to the statistics. I wouldn't do it. And I politely offer that you have that choice. I don't want to argue with anyone. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for letting me say this. Bye.
Thank you, Doug. Yes, that issue is very contentious at the moment. So is that your hand going up, Elise? Is it? Okay,
yes. Yes, I didn't want to say anything anymore. I'm so grateful and so moved about Reverend Yamada really going through this history to really get this through to us. Really how God works in our life. I only really became aware of God from the lockdown. I finally really connected to God. And since then, and I have been over 40 years researching in health and healing, and always my intention was really to find out how does God work. But I know because of when our body is traumatized, I know how difficult it is really to get through, to unfreeze our body, to really become aware and to become conscious about what's going on. Anyway, I have so much in my heart about how to testify for that. the history of my country, as from Austria, was always, like two fathers said, Austria is the glue for Europe, was always unifying, was always working for peace. So I feel I have a lot to live up to in that way. But also I completely agree with Doug about, why don't we understand really that God created, how God created us for health to become the co-creators too. Anyway, sorry, I need to stop, but I'm really happy. I've been so upset about the whole situation. Why can't people just accept God or in their life, and then everything can change? I really believe that. Really, that now is the time that True Mother is manifesting the Holy Spirit, and so we don't have to wait for miracles anymore. I mean, we just can do it. But anyway, sorry, I'm very short on a good example in my own life, and unfortunately. But anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Elise. Okay. After Randall's got his hand up, then after Randall, then Mr. Arai. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead, Randall.
Thank you. With the education that's going on in Korea, I was wondering if we could hear from Greg Stone, because I think, Greg, you went through some university or something, didn't you? I was wondering to hear from some of the people that have experienced some of the education systems there in Korea. So maybe after Mr. Arai, if Greg could say something.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Randall. Go ahead, Mr. Arai.
Good morning. Yesterday we received 11 talks. The testimony is great, and I was thinking all day. Really, it's great, and respect and also admire. I thought he was like St. Paul's, life. It is incredible. I think maybe longer than him, and or wider area, and it is incredible. Thank you, truly. And just I like to one share, because not education, just Olympic game just started. I was lucky because one no difference. That's why I could stay 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock, 4 hours. And I was so happy to see Solomon, and also Fiji is very difficult, but Fiji and the Tonga and the Samoa, Vanuatu, and New Zealand, it's also Aussie. And they difficult, and even though we cannot travel, but I think then so many, nearly more than nearly 200 nation people joined. There are many political issues, financial issues, many such, I think, a historical difficulty, and really I felt how human is really great, the spirit and courage is really great. Then President Baha gave a long speech. I thought a little bit long, 12 minutes, and emphasized solidarity, togetherness, but I really certainly felt our vision is more bigger and also more deeper, not only togetherness, not so don't talk about like a God or religious, but actually our vision is under the heaven plan. We are brothers and sisters. When we see so many cultures, costumes, language, peoples, and but they compete one rule, the same rule, and really getting so close, and it is one of the great Ireland started. Oh, it started from Greece, and the French, the Coubertin, it's modernized, and I think it's a sport because some people oppose many ideas, but when we see people, enter with a brilliant, it is incredibly mature. It's spirit, it's a vision heart. I can see a split, and so they are not like today's goodness is not can be realized instant, but also sports. This kind of sports is competition. It's 4 years or some people 10 years. Really working hard every day. Prepare for that. That's why when win, crying. Then when lose, it's also crying. It is incredible drama happen, and really I think I'm living in Australia, but when fight with Australia and Japan, we support Japan. And, like a nationality comes stronger, but anyway, we really people are default at the moment. I think I really moved to Mrs. Hashimoto, one chairman of Olympic game. Really straight. He's really crying and hurt. Incredible thanks to the many people will come together. It is incredible one, and it is incredible. Really, we try to pray about it this time. I think many people could not enjoy sometime, but I think people can enjoy this time. And anyway, thank you today again. Everyone's great attendance.
Thank you, Mr. Arai. Actually, we've gone over time, so I think we'll just go to people just keep their comments for next time, and we'll just have our unison prayer now. So I'll just share the screen and we can pray together. Let's begin. Arju, Arju, Arju. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day as always, and see you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
We pray for Santosh,
Yes.
Santosh family. We love you. Get better.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.